Within the LGBTQ community, conversations continue to surround one group more than any other: transgender men and women.
And according to those in the community, one reason for that may be because there's just simply not enough education out there.
Well, but as our Queen City News anchor Julian Sador reports, it is not because of those in the community that are unwilling to share their stories.
Despite pushes for equality, hate crimes against members of the LGBTQ community continue to rise. But one group inside that community is impacted far more than any other: transgender and gender non-conforming people. Tonight, we begin part one of a three-part series sharing the stories of how four brave individuals first figured out who they were, how they came out, and what life is like for them now.
And another way that he and I were absolutely different, and I guess that this is a minor one. He was born as a man and raised as a man. I was born as a woman, as I am a transgender man. So if you haven't laughed yet, it's a hate crime now.
Through the laughter, there's truth and pain in comedian Shane Lane's routine.
And I do like saying that I'm a gay man first and a trans man second, because then bigots have to choose what they're more upset about.
The truth is that trans people are more than 4 times as likely as cisgender people to be raped, beaten, or killed. The pain that Shane has lived those fears himself.
I've had to be escorted back to my car by the venue security or the other comedians or the producers or something, because people felt that if I had gone out there alone, I could have not been sitting here.
And sadly, those numbers are only going up. Between 2013 and 2019, crimes against trans and gender non-conforming people have gone up 587%. According to those in the community, like Rel Lowry, a large reason why is because people fear what they don't know.
We're just asking to be respected. But as you said, the numbers continue to increase, but the answer to that is a lack of knowledge, a lack of people wanting things to change, and a fear of the unknown.
So, in hopes of bringing understanding, trans men Rel and Shane and trans women Jenny Gunn and Janae Wright have all agreed to share their stories, starting from the beginning. Let's start with this. Take me back to young Janae.
Yeah, let's take you back.
Take me back.
Take me back.
How was childhood? What was early childhood? What was that like?
Oh, childhood, honey.
For Janae, she knew something was different almost as far back as her memory goes.
I felt it. I knew that the genitalia that I was assigned with at birth was uncomfortable.
Despite outside appearances, on the inside, Janae was already beginning a lifelong journey, a lifelong battle with her body.
I don't want to be a boy. I want to be a girl, and I'm happy. I want to be loved and treated like a young girl.
From a young age, Janae was struggling with something called body dysmorphia, a mental health disorder where a person is worried with the way their body looks. It's something Rel struggled with as well, although he too didn't know the words to describe it.
I felt like what I saw in the mirror I wanted to be one of the boys. So I didn't understand, like, hey, why is my shape not like this? Why can't I go out without a shirt on? Why can't I just not do my hair? Why do I have to, go get my hair done and things like that? I didn't understand, like, how can I fix this? And at that time, that was in the 80s. I had no idea what trans was. I just knew that I didn't fit, and I didn't want to fit in the other categories that my cousins were doing.
Shane struggled with much of the same. His earliest moment that he can recall at the age of just 5.
Just crying my eyes out saying, I wish I was a boy, just for a day. Doing that would probably be the moment I knew something wasn't right, or something wasn't normal, something wasn't what I expected it to be.
For Shane, bullies would poke fun, and by 2nd grade, trauma would set in.
One time, the bullies pulled down my pants to show the boxers because they knew I wore them, and then that just went down a whole rabbit hole of things. They're like, look at Shane, then dead name, but look at Shane wearing boxers, thinking he's his boy and all this. So it was just a lot to take in, and then bathroom and cry.
For Janae, her trauma would also come at home. Her father hitting her for showing signs of her true self, a young girl.
That creates fear. You create that type of fear in your child when you gender police them and when you tell them these things. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's so natural for me to act out in this way. But I'm taught not to do it, you know? And it's not fair because this is something that's naturally happening. I can't stop it.
It was the fear of meeting a similar reaction that prevented Jenny from coming out. Growing up in Texas in the 70s with a dad who served in Vietnam, she says she never dared to ask her parents for help, despite knowing from an early age that she felt different.
You didn't ask stupid questions.
And you felt at that point, this is a stupid question, this is going to get
I
me
thought
in
it was
trouble.
a really stupid question. I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm a boy, and I need to stop it.
The reason why Jenny was afraid to ask those questions, the reason Shane was bullied for wearing boys' underwear, and the reason Janae was hit for showing her true self comes down in part to one thing: how society is conditioned to view gender.
Okay, so baby's born in a hospital setting, for example. Let's say the parents decided not to determine the sex ahead of time. Baby comes out, first thing out of the healthcare worker's mouth, first thing.
Boy or girl, right?
It's
a boy or it's a girl.
Can you imagine, when we talk about social conditioning, it's the very first thing.
Bethany Corrigan is the executive director for Transgender Charlotte. As they say, when children start to explore who they are and they're told to stop it, the effects can be devastating.
It can lead to anxiety and depression. It can lead to, some forms of stunted development.
Even worse, it can lead to suicidal thoughts and suicide itself. Data shows 86% of trans youth consider taking their own lives. 56% actually try it. For Jenny, too scared to ask questions and without resources, she went searching for them herself once she could drive. As she tells it, ending up in the basement of a college library reading periodicals.
They gave me a scientific diagnosis of a boy that thinks he's a girl. And and then I started reading what I'd have to go through. And I was alone and petrified. Literally crying in the basement of this college library going, God, that sounds awful. And knowing I couldn't tell anybody, that I felt gross. I felt so scared. And I could feel the suicidal ideation coming out. I felt maybe this world ain't meant for me.
But Jenny pushed through by pushing those feelings further down within herself. Just like Rel, just like Shane, just like Janae. But the thing about that is you can repress those feelings, but eventually they'll come out. In part 2 tomorrow night, we'll pick up with Jenny, Shane, Rel, and Janae as they tell their stories of how they came out and the obstacles and repercussions that came with it.
Julianne, thank you for highlighting this. If you or anyone you know needs resources or needs to just talk to somebody, there are organizations here in Charlotte, such as Transcend and PFLAG, that can either help you or kind of point you in the right direction as to where you can go. But if you need immediate help, the Trevor Project offers 24/7 counselors for LGBTQ youth, and they can be reached by, you can call, text, or even instant message. That information is right there on your screen.